Hey everyone, and welcome to Comic Breakdown. If you're new to the page, be sure to give us a like and a sub so you don't miss any of the content we have coming out. And today we're going to be diving into The Flash, issue number 759. If you guys haven't checked out the previous issues, I'll be sure to leave a link so you guys can check that out. And without further ado, let's dive into this issue. So in this issue, we're picking up with The Flash. But this isn't the Flash that we know. This is the Flash that's possessed more or less by Eobard Thawne. And the goal of Thawne here was to essentially become Barry Allen. He wanted to live his life. He wanted to be him in every way, shape, and form. And now he finally has his chance to. And he even wants to take it further. He wants to do the things that Flash should have done. The things that he was always too scared or too worried to do when it came to messing with the timeline and things of that nature. And this is where we see Eobard recruit the likes of Bart Allen. Now, Bart Allen is essentially the grandson of Barry Allen. And because of the events of Flashpoint, he had all but been forgotten. You know, and Dr. Manhattan had his hand in all of that as well, but that goes back to Flash Forward and issues of that nature. And so he decides to team up with Bart and go take down villains, doing exactly what the Flash family does best. Now, picking up with Barry Allen, he's kind of in the Speed Force. And he's met with Jesse Quick and Max Mercury. And they tell him that he needs to let go of everything that happened at Flashpoint. He holds on to all the guilt and the remorse from those events years after they have actually transpired. And Max Mercury goes on to tell him that they're not necessarily in the Speed Force. Because the Speed Force doesn't just connect on a physical or mental level, but it's something deeper. And Wally West, you know, he went through something similar like this when he first met Max Mercury. And when he had lost his way. And so Barry tries to push outside the barriers of what he sees in the mental capacity. And he's able to see Bart and his own body, but controlled by Eobard, running through Central City. And so the three of them decide that they're going to try to push back. They're going to try to have Barry retake his own body. Now, picking up in Central City, we have the Legion of Zoom, and they're just wreaking havoc all over Central City. You know, in the absence of a Flash, they're doing what they do best. But little do they know that Eobard Thawne really plans to uphold the mantle of Barry Allen. No matter how evil and sick and twisted his ways are, he's still trying to live up to the pedestal that he's put Barry Allen on. And Trickster thinks for a minute that Barry Allen had gotten control of his body again, but he shortly realizes that it's still Thawne, and Thawne counters one of his grenades and throws it back at the Trickster, leaving him incapacitated. And we really see it the darker side. We see the Eobard Thawne seeping through here. Because his first initial thoughts are, we need to get him to Iron Heights. He's a criminal, he's a bad guy, there's no question about it. Now Bart Allen, on the other hand, thinks, you know, we need to get him to a hospital. Like, that's the hero response to this. And this is where we see Eobard Thawne weigh into Bart Allen in the most cruel way possible. Telling him essentially how he's not enough and he's not good enough, that he doesn't deserve to hold the title of Flash family. He couldn't even hold the title of Kid Flash, let alone the title of Flash. And then he takes off, leaving Bart Allen almost defeated. Now, picking up with our team of big bads, Thawne shows up and he's obviously furious with these guys because, you know, they're out here wrecking Central City, and that's not the plan that he has in place. And he lets them know that Barry Allen's trying to break through. Like, this isn't his permanent locked-in possession yet. He doesn't completely own Barry Allen, but there's some things that he needs them to get that will make it solidified. And so he essentially makes them errand boys. But he holds that thing over their heads because he has the keys to their future. He knows exactly what's in store for them, and he can help them change that. And everybody on this team definitely wants the ability to change their death. Now, picking up with Avery, Iris West, and Wallace West, they're all waiting outside of this little getaway cabin that the Wests have that's not really known by anybody. And Barry Allen shows up out of nowhere, and they start questioning, you know, like, what happened to the Legion of Zoom? What happened with Thawne? Like, what's going on? And before this conversation can really get any kind of footing, we see Bart Allen come out of left field and kick Barry Allen straight in the face. And he just starts wrecking havoc on Barry Allen. And his reply to everybody is, "That's not my grandpa." Now, nobody really knows or remembers him. So Wallace West is immediately on guard, like, who are you? Not realizing they're both a version of Kid Flash at one point in time in the multiverse, but now goes by the name of Impulse. And this is where we see Iris West really start to remember who he is. And it's just like, you're not somebody I could forget. And this is just that jumble of time travel. There's so much that goes into it, and so much butterfly effects that leave us almost confused in the path that got us to where we are today. And Iris starts to realize that this isn't Barry Allen. Like, this may look like Barry Allen, but we've seen this before. Eobard Thawne tried doing this with Wally West. So it's not something new to her. She already knows what the gimmick is. And before Eobard's able to attack them, we see the one and only Jay Garrick. And he zooms in to protect them. And that is where this issue ends. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I really did enjoy this line today, because we're really getting to see the egotistical side of Eobard Thawne. He's finally got what he's wanted for years. He's finally lived up to Barry because he is Barry. He's finally become the mantle that he wanted to be. And not only that, he thinks he's doing it better. He thinks that because his lack of moral code, he makes a better Flash, a more safe Central City. And then having the arrival of Jay Garrick. Jay Garrick's always been one of my favorites when it comes to the Flash family. And I'm really excited to see what we're going to get here, because we have Avery, Wallace West, Impulse, Jay Garrick versus Eobard Thawne. And even with all four of those speedsters versus Eobard Thawne still, I think, has the advantage because he is such a strong and powerful speedster compared to everybody else, only being topped by Barry Allen and Wally West themselves. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Be sure to like and subscribe to the page if you haven't yet already, and until the next video.